Okay, very warm welcome to all of you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me properly? Welcome to each one of you. Okay, I got many questions asking whether the lecture is going to be in English or Hindi. I personally feel that because we are going to write the exam in English, we should always study in English, at least revise in English. Hi Priya, how are you? So, hi, hi, hi Sad. So let's keep it in English so that maximum can benefit. And those who like listening in Hindi English mix, they definitely understand English, right? And it's not going to be a very high level English. This is not an English class. It's a basic law class. So we are going to the main language is going to be English, and then let's see. Okay. So I think it is better if we revise in English so that we can easily write the paper in English. All right. Okay. So now enough discussion about the language. How are we going to study and how are these sessions going to help us? See, whenever I start any session, whenever I start any course or I start any batch also, I always make the students understand why we are doing this. Okay. Why you are studying for CA, why you are studying law. That is most important. Why these series and how is it going to help you? See, learning the provisions is one part and applying and writing is the most important part, and you have to do all that in 3 hours time. So your concepts should be so strong that you're able to recall everything in those 3 hours time. Now, what happens with students, and tell me if this is your problem also. Okay, tell me if you agree with me. We study one chapter, we are very thorough with that chapter. Okay, but when we start solving the provision, when we start solving the questions, we are not able to apply those provisions. It is as if the concept is new for us. Then we go back to the textbook और लगते कि अरे ये मैंने कब पढ़ा था. अच्छा, second important problem which I think students face is they are not able to recall the provisions. They are not able to understand what is to be written in the answer. मतलब start कैसे करना है, end कैसे करना है, वो नहीं आता है इनको. Main problem is provisions में क्या लिखना है. What should be written in provisions? वो नहीं पता. So in these 4 to 5 lectures that I have planned, I'm going to teach you how to recall the concept, how to decide what is to be written in the answer. Ravi, this question answer book is available on my website. It is not free download. You have to purchase it. Quality comes at a cost. Okay. So these are not, this is not a free book. You can purchase the compiler. I'll just share the link of the book. Many of you already have this book. So that is why I am very confident that you will be using it for the lectures. Okay. And I'm very proud to say that this is not a free book because I have worked very, very hard on this book. If you notice, in my question bank, that is my compiler, all the answers are written in stepwise format. You will not find this in any book. So I'm not going to share it for free. I have worked very hard on it and I'm only charging for my work. Okay. In descriptive questions, all my students, by God's grace, all my students in the May attempt have got exemption. I'm not boasting, but I'm very humbled that all my students have got exemption. So out of 100 marks, everybody has got above 60. That is my only target. I never aim for how much can we score from 70. Exemption mila, bas, I'm happy. Okay, chalo. Now, how are we going to recall? Okay, how to recall? Why are these lectures important? See, many a times what happens now? Okay, yes, Sad. Now, what happens is many a time students attend the first lecture. Okay, they feel, "Arey, बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा है." But then when the second and third lecture arrives, they are like, "I have not studied this, na. I'm not able to recall. This lecture is not going to be very helpful for me. Forget about all that. Just attend these 4 days. Just listen to what I'm saying. Maybe वो सुनते सुनते आपको provision याद हो जाएगा. What if this question is asked in the exam? Yes. So even if you have not finished revision, even if that chapter is alien to you, even though you have not revised, just attend these lectures and listen. That is my only request to you. I am going to teach you how to recall the provisions. And secondly, what kind of questions are we going to discuss? Mostly we are going to discuss case-based questions. Are we going to discuss all the questions? No. I feel that there are many questions which are very easy. The direct application of the concept. You are already aware of that. You must have solved some MTP, RTP here and there. What I am going to tell you is unique questions. Questions which are different. They are unique, they are different. Questions which I feel can be asked in the exam. Questions which I feel cover an important concept which you may not have studied properly. Question which I feel you may have gone through but have not understood. So from each chapter, I have identified 3 most important unique questions in which most of the students have doubt. So I'm going to cover those 3 most important questions from each chapter. Apart from that, if you have problem in any other question, feel free to contact me. Save my number in your mobile. Put a hi so that I also save your number. You get all the free material which I share with my students on WhatsApp. I have a group also. I will be adding you to the doubt solving group. Many a times it happens that students discuss something in that group and it is asked in the exam. 1 day or 2 days before the exam, they are discussing something and it is asked in the exam. So those groups will really help you. Just put a hi on my WhatsApp and I will add you to those doubt solving groups. Okay. Now, from every chapter, I have identified 3 most important questions. So let us go through those questions. I will display the question. You can read it. You can tell me the pointers. Let us make it a very interactive session. Okay, you can tell me, ma'am, these are the points that we will include. In this manner, you will be able to recall and revise all the concepts. Okay, let's get started. I'm very sure that you will be able to catch up with me. We are going to start with Contract Act. Contract Act is something which everyone is comfortable with. Then I will give you target. I will give you homework that for tomorrow's session, prepare these 3 chapters. Just quickly go through the provisions, come prepared for the lecture. And in these 4 days, you will be revising law in a very quick manner. At least you will be attending the session and trying to recall those concepts. So I will give you target and you have to prepare those chapters for tomorrow, for the next session. Okay. Today, we are going to go through the other laws. Why? Because it is a very light way. You will also understand my technique and how we are going to approach it. So from every chapter, I have identified 3 most unique and important questions. Okay. Now, the first question which I have identified is question 1 of my compiler. Why have I identified this question? It's a very simple question. But in your module, they have given the answer which is not matching with the theory. And most of the times, students ask me a doubt in this question. So that is why I am covering it. What is the meaning of op? Overpowered. Acha, Darshan, thank you so much. Podcast, yes. There are a few episodes which are pending for the CA inter, but podcast, I will be wrapping up with the podcast very soon. Okay, I will be wrapping up. Overpowered, OP. I will remember that, Darshan. Okay. All right. Now, this is one question which is जिसमें बहुत सारे students को doubt होता है. Okay. Now, M advances to N. Guys, before leaving, just like this video and go. Okay, there are many who are coming in, going out. There is a lot of, people coming in and going out, floating crowd. But before you leave, just like this video and leave, okay? Let's put a target of 100 likes at least today. Yes, let's start with a small one. Tomorrow we will increase the target. Okay, now, M advances to N. Okay, I'll also teach you the technique of how to read the question and come up with the answer just by reading it. Okay, सारे techniques आपको यहीं पे सिखा दूंगी. All right. Now, whenever you read the question, always start making small notes in the answer paper so that you save time. Okay, now M advances. Now this is how I make notes, and this is how I try to recall the concept. I will teach you the techniques which I have used to prepare for CA exam. Now M advances to N rupees 5,000 on the guarantee of P. Whenever you go through the question on indemnity, guarantee, bailment, pledge, agency, always identify the parties first. This will save a lot of time when you read the question. Okay, so these are hints which I'm going to do. So hint number one, or I should say study tip number one. Yes, study tip one. Let's keep a count of the study tips that I'm giving. Study tip number one, always identify the parties when you read the question. This will save a lot of time in the exam. Now, M has advanced loan. M is the creditor. He has given loan to N. N is the debtor. And P has given guarantee. P is the surety. Identify the parties first. That's my first hint. The loan carries interest at the rate of 10% per annum. All right. I am writing the information as I read. This will save time in the exam. Subsequently, N became financially embarrassed. On N's request, M reduced the interest to 6% per annum, and he does not sue N for a year after the loan has become due. There is a change, there is a variance. Immediately, it should click in my mind, section 133. Immediately, it should click in my mind, section 133. Okay, section 133 talks about variation in the terms of contract. So see, while reading the question, I have now started framing the answer. I know it is related to section 133, variance in the terms of the contract. The terms are changed, the interest rate is reduced, and he is not going to sue for 1 year. Okay, after that N became insolvent. Can M sue P? Now in this case, whatever variation is taking place is for the benefit of the surety. Now in the module, I am going to that page where they have mentioned the theory. In the module on page number, okay, in the module on page number 1.15 and 1.16, they have clearly mentioned that variance or variation which is not substantial, which is not material, or which is beneficial to the surety will not discharge the surety. It is clearly mentioned on page 1.15 that variation which is not substantial, it is not material, it is not important, it is for the benefit of the surety, will not discharge the surety. They have also explained with the help of a case law. The court held that the surety's liability is not discharged as the alteration was beneficial to him. It was not substantial. ये कुछ ज़्यादा important नहीं था. It was for his benefit. Now, when this question is asked in the module, see how they have answered it. They have forgotten that they are now adopting a different view. Earlier, they would say that the surety is discharged because there is variation. Then they changed to surety is not discharged. Okay. So here they are saying the surety will be discharged. See what is the question. M advances 5,000 on the guarantee of P. Same question that is there in my compiler. The loan carries interest at 10%. They reduce the loan. They will not sue for 1 year after the loan becomes due. They are saying that the surety will be discharged. Will the surety be discharged in this case? Will the surety be discharged? No. The rate of interest is reduced to 6% and he will not sue N for a year. It is for the benefit of the surety. The surety will not be discharged. खुद ही उन्होंने लिखा था page 1.5 पे, 1.15 पे. So in my compiler you will find the answer that surety will not be discharged because the variation is not substantial, it is not material, it is however beneficial to the surety. So the surety is not discharged. So my answer will be that surety is not discharged. All right. Do I need to explain this? I think I will have to do that because normally we explain this in foundation, the answer writing format, but there are many students who are direct entry students. They don't know the format for writing the answer. You will divide your answer into 4 parts. Okay, divide your answer into 4 parts. You will write provisions. Then you will write facts of the case, analysis, and conclusion. In provisions, you will mention the section number, name of case law, if any. Okay, if there is a case law, if you are able to recall the case law, and you will only write theory. Okay, only theory is to be mentioned. Facts of the case, you will explain the question in your own words. Don't expect marks for this. Okay, don't expect marks because this is just writing the question in your own words. Analysis is actually providing the solution. Okay, you're providing the solution. Give some reference to the facts also. And conclusion, you will start with thus, therefore, hence, it is concluded that, so, from the above we can conclude that, etc. So this is how you will write conclusion. Okay, so divide your answer, leave a line after every main explanation, leave a line. Okay, so this is how you are going to frame your answer. And following a fixed format is very important. You need not follow this format for a 2 or 3 mark question, but for a 4 to 5 mark question, definitely you need to follow this. Okay. So in this particular question, he is not discharged. So that is my question 1, unique question, something in which students always have a doubt. Okay. Let us now discuss question 4. Okay. Don't read the answer. Try solving it on your own. Now I will teach you how to recall the theory. D was in urgent need of money to the extent of rupees 5 lakhs. He asked Mr. K for the money. K lent the money on the surety of A, B and N without any contract between them. In case of default, okay, D makes a default. Now B refused to contribute. B is one of the co-sureties. He is refusing to contribute. You have to decide, can B escape liability? Okay, don't look at the answer. I'm hiding the answer. Yes, Saad, very good. Your answer is correct. Others. Now, please solve question 4. Try to recall. Okay, let's see if you're able to recall. I will show you how to recall, how to write. Okay, now the question relates to co-sureties. Yes. Can you recall and tell me the section number? Now, why have I chosen this question? I will give you a reason for choosing each and every question. There was a time when not many questions were asked on co-sureties. Suddenly now recently they have started asking many questions on co-surety. No, it is not section 144. Section 144 is failure of a person to join as co-surety. Invalid guarantee. This is co-surety. He is already a co-surety in this case. Okay, the failure, that is invalid guarantee. Here, he is already a co-surety. He has already given guarantee. So this is not application of section 144. It's okay if you make mistakes. This is learning ground for us. Okay. So what is the section number for co-surety? It is section 146 and also section 147. These relate to co-sureties. Now, what are the pointers? Okay, now I will teach you how to recall the provisions. If you see in my compiler, on the left hand side, I have left the column blank. My entire compiler is based that way. This is blank. Why? Okay, this part is always blank. Why? Because this is how I used to study when I was preparing for CA Inter. I used to use my left margin a lot. Even in my lectures, if you see, I use the left margin a lot for making notes that I could use for last minute revision. So now I'm trying to recall what are the provisions of co-surety, what will I write in the answer, how I will frame the answer. This is the provision part of it. Many students get confused, ma'am, what to write in provisions. Now this is how you will frame the provision. First, explain the meaning of co-surety. Okay, this is how I will frame the answer. What is the meaning of co-surety? When two or more persons provide guarantee for the same debt, they both are known as co-surety. Okay, so first I will write the meaning of co-surety. Then I will write certain additional provisions. Like, it is not compulsory that the co-sureties know each other. It is not compulsory that they enter in one contract. We may have a single contract or we may have separate contracts with each co-surety. Co-surety may or may not know each other. they may be either jointly or severally liable. Okay, so these are certain other features, you can say, other points to be noted, you can say. Okay, so they may or may not know each other. They may enter into one contract, or they may enter into separate contract with each other. They may be jointly or severally liable. Then if they pay more than their share, then they can claim contribution. This is how I write and I recall the provisions. If they pay more than their share, they can claim the contribution. Then there was one more provision of security, which is not useful in this, but since I am recalling the concept, I will try to recall that also. Each one will get the benefit of security. Now, A, B, C, they are co-sureties. The security was given to C. It is not known to A and B. A and B will get the benefit of security even if they are not aware of the existence of security. Okay, so this is the point relating to security. These are all the points relating to co-surety. These are all the various provisions relating to co-surety. Yes, so I am able to recall everything. Now from this, what is useful in the question? When two or more persons, okay, I'll highlight now, see how they frame the answer. When two or more persons, they either give jointly or severally liable, okay, with or without knowledge of each other, in absence of any contract, they are equally liable. Okay, now they are talking about the liability. So the liability here I have written, it may be joint or severally liable. Each one, okay, if there is a contract, okay, if there is any agreement between them, then they will be liable in that ratio subject to the maximum. But if there is no agreement between them, then each of them will be equally liable. We will include this point. Now in this case, A, B and C, there was no contract between them. That is perfectly fine. They may have just one contract or they may have separate contracts. But each of them will be equally liable. Now, on the basis of these provisions, my answer is ready. Because they are equally liable, B cannot escape the liability. This is my answer. While revising, I revised and I recalled all the provisions. The question was on liability, so I also decided when there is no contract, that is section 146. When there is a contract, section 147. When there is no contract, they will all be equally liable. So here B cannot escape from liability. What is more important? Provisions. Did you see the amount of content that they have written? This is the model answer given by ICAI. In analysis and conclusion, I have merged because there is not much text to write. But only 2 to 3 sentences are sufficient. Concentrate more on writing the provisions. Maximum marks are given on provision, and this is your provision. Another question which I have identified, and that is question 12. Why have I chosen this? Because it has not been asked in the exam. It has only been asked in MTP and RTP. It is an MTP RTP question, never been asked in the exam, can be asked. Let us read the question, okay, and after that we will complete indemnity and guarantee. Rahul is the owner of an electronics shop. Okay, Priyanka reached the shop to purchase an air conditioner whose compressor should be of copper. She wanted to purchase the air conditioner on credit. Rahul demanded a guarantor. Wait over here. Before reading, before proceeding, identify the parties. Rahul is the owner. Rahul is the creditor. Priyanka reached the shop to buy. Priyanka is the debtor. He wanted guarantee, so Arvind, he acted as surety. He is a friend, he gave a guarantee. Rahul sold the air conditioner saying that it is copper, but actually it was aluminium. Both of them did not have any knowledge. On being aware, now Priyanka is refusing to pay the price. Rahul is filing a case against Arvind saying that your debtor has defaulted. You pay the price now. So explain whether Arvind is liable for the money. Yes, what do you think? Which section should we apply? Don't worry, even if the answer is wrong, nobody is going to judge you over here. We can't even see you. Okay, so don't worry about the answer. Just tell me. What should be the section number? Yes? in this case, he is saying that it is made of copper, but actually it is of aluminium. What is happening in this case? Guys, please like this video before you leave. I know many students will want to come back to it after revising. You may have not prepared for today's session. Like this video so that you can find it. Okay, here we will apply section 142, that is guarantee obtained by misrepresentation. Section 1, Hema. Section 139, no, that will not be mentioned here. Impairing the rights of the surety, that is not applicable. Section 142 will apply. Don't worry. Compiler will help you to, even if here we are making mistake, now we know what is the correct section. I'm very happy, Hema. I'm so proud of you. You are making an effort. I'm very happy. Satish, okay, misrepresentation, correct. Okay, because we are revising invalid guarantee, we should also revise. See, we should also, although it is not relevant, but we should revise. Guarantee obtained by concealment, section 143. Section 144, failure of a person to join as co-surety. All these three will make an invalid guarantee, can be asked as a theory question. Okay, can be asked as a theory question. Now, sometime back Darshan was mentioning about the podcast. These section numbers, I have prepared a list of all the section numbers in my podcast where we learn this by story format. Okay, very soon I'm going to announce. Just 2 or 3 episodes are remaining to be recorded now, so I will complete it and then I will launch the product podcast. And today Darshan taught me a new word, OP, overpowered. Okay, so that podcast will help you to remember all the section numbers. Now, all these three make invalid guarantee. Yes, okay. Over here, what is happening? Section 142, we will write the theory. Section 142, we will mention the theory. Default has been made by the creditor. Rahul Arvind, surety will not be liable. Very good. Surety is not liable because he concealed some very important fact. Important means material. Now, what is the keyword? What is the keyword to be used in the answer? There is concealment. Okay, there is misrepresentation. Now, let us highlight the keywords over here. There is misrepresentation made by the creditor concerning a material part. This is one word which should be mentioned in your answer. This will give you marks. Okay, material. Saad, you have my compiler na? Highlight material. Question 12 है ये. Material, okay, and the surety will be discharged. This should also be written in your answer, that surety will be discharged. Section 142 discharges the surety. Okay, so this is misrepresentation. That is my keyword. Material, ये word आपके आंसर में आना ही चाहिए. And the surety will be discharged. Okay. Again, you can apply, they have also applied section 134 also, because but I don't think that we will apply section 134 over here. Section 142 is more than enough for us. Section 134 may first the debtor is discharged and because of that the surety is discharged. Okay, here you can say that, but I will prefer applying only section 142 over here. Facts, you will write the case in your own words on the basis of the above. Guarantee obtained by Mr. Rahul by misrepresentation, Arvind will not be liable. He is discharged. Now, please pay attention. Misrepresentation word is again used in analysis. The surety will be discharged is again used in analysis. Okay. So, in the provision, I mentioned the theory. From the theory, I took words to write in the analysis. Now, if you see the length, mostly provisions are written properly, and only 2 or 3 sentences in analysis, that too the words are brought down from the provision itself. So this is how you will also frame. Hi, Bara. Okay. Okay, so that finishes indemnity and guarantee. Students, don't worry. Slowly you will get an idea. Slowly your confidence will also increase. Hi, Sujit. Hello, everyone. Just sharing a link of the compiler in case you wish to purchase the compiler from which we are solving the. Okay, just sharing a link of the compiler. Consider it as an investment. Today I'm in the mood to sell. Okay, today I'm in the mood to sell. I worked very hard on this compiler and I want everyone to benefit. Yes, 50 days is enough for both groups provided you have studied before. This is only revision time. If you are. Yes, Karthik, the video will be available after the revision session is over. After it is over, it will be available. Yes. Next week, all these videos wherein I discuss the entire compiler will also be available on my website. Okay. This live session I will make available. Okay. Now we are going to bailment. Many students are waiting for bailment now, bailment and pledge. Here I have identified question 7. I will give you reason why I have identified that question as important. Okay. Now, yes. Yes, today I'm in the mood to sell. Today I want everyone to know that this compiler is the best. Today, forgive me for being a salesperson. Generally, I don't do all this. But my team tells me, ma'am, you never advertise. I said, I'm so busy teaching, I forget to advertise. For me, that is more important. Ha. Sujit, let's discuss that on WhatsApp, or you can call me. My number is there on my website. You send me a WhatsApp. I will share you a study calendar. I will share a study calendar of two month study calendar with you. Follow that. You will complete both groups. Okay, guys. You can, if you want the study calendar, 2 month study calendar, just send me a WhatsApp. I will share the study calendar with you. Just send me a WhatsApp. You have my number, no? 2 month study calendar. I have that. I'll share it with you. Okay, pledge by person, and also mention you want the study calendar, others how I'll know. Okay, Srushti acquired a valuable diamond at a very low price by a contract voidable under the provisions of the Contract Act. The contract was not rescinded. Srushti pledged the diamond with VK. Now, reason why I have selected this question. Okay, now many students don't understand the concept only. That is why they are not able to attempt this question. That is why I have selected this question. Okay, I will justify my selection. You will understand why I'm saying that. Now, please pay attention to the explanation now. Sujit, my number is on my website. Website is capreetiagarwal.com. Okay, capreetiagarwal.com. My number is there on the website. Now, Srushti acquired a valuable diamond by a contract voidable. Please listen to the explanation. Okay, please listen to the explanation. Now, S by fraud obtained a diamond from, they have not written, let's say from P. Okay, S by fraud obtained a diamond from P. Now, because it is fraud, the contract is voidable at P's option. Voidable means P has two options. Either keep quiet, treat the contract as valid, or cancel the contract. But before the contract could be cancelled, S pledged the diamond with VK. Okay, pledge. Now, please pay attention. The main contract was not, sorry, before the main contract was cancelled, it means main contract cancel nahi hua. The main contract remained valid. Okay, before the main contract could be cancelled, S pledged the diamond further. It means the main contract remained valid. Because the main contract is valid, the collateral will also be valid. Okay, because the main contract was valid, the collateral is also valid. Because the collateral is valid, it means the pledge is also valid. Pledge is valid means VK will not give back the diamond. He will not return the diamond unless and until he is paid his money or debt. So if P wants the diamond, P will have to satisfy VK, pay money, only then he will get back his diamond, and then P can later on recover whatever money he has paid from S, because S has committed fraud. We will file a case and we will recover that money from S. This is the logic, and only when you understand this logic, you will be able to solve the question. That is why I chose this question. Okay, so in this case, the pledge is valid. Why? Because the main contract was valid, therefore the pledge, that is collateral, is also valid. Okay, now I hope you understood this question. Next, I have chosen question 9. Why have I chosen question 9? Now, students, please note, this question has been asked only once in the exam. There are very high chances of it being asked again. Please mark this as expected in exam. Even if it is not expected, yes, Karthik, the video is available even after my live session is over. You can watch the recorded video. But everyone, before leaving, today I'm in the mood to advertise myself. Before leaving, please put a thumbs up, like this video, and also visit my website capreetiaggarwal.com for books and fast track lectures. Karthik, I replied 2 times. Okay. Others, coming back to this. Others, coming back. Please write this as expected in exam. Now, students, please note, even though I have written it as expected in exam, it doesn't mean that same to same question will come. They may, twist the name. They may write some facts, may be slightly twisted, but the format will be the same. The question type will be the same. Please, please note that this is expected in exam. Okay. Ronit, please WhatsApp me and we will discuss on WhatsApp. Okay, Ronit, please WhatsApp me. I don't think I will be able to cover that in this session. Everyone, my WhatsApp number is, I will just share it with you. Okay, there are certain things which we can discuss in detail. Just put a hi on WhatsApp, just save my number. Okay, now everyone, why have I highlighted this question? I have highlighted this question because it is a very unique question. I have highlighted this question because it can be asked in the exam. They will twist it, they will change the facts, but question format will remain the same. Okay, please, please, please mark this as important for exam. Now, Radhesham borrowed a sum of 50,000 from the bank on security of gold. Whenever I read the question, I always convert this into arrow format. It saves a lot of time. I identify the parties. I identify who is the bailer, the bailee. Okay, or pledger, pledgee. Now, Radheshyam, he borrowed money from the bank, rupees 50,000, all right, and he gave the security as gold. This was given on 1st July 2019. The agreement contains a clause that the bank will have a right of particularly, and wait. It is mentioned that bank will have particularly, and but I have studied that bankers, factors, waffingers, policy brokers, they generally have a general lien on the general balance of account. But here they are saying that he will have a particular lien. Yes, see, bankers generally have a general lien on the general balance of account. What is the general balance of account? It means, like in this case, okay, like in this case, if he borrows money further, which he did, 20,000, he borrowed on 30th of September. The banker has the right to retain the entire gold till 70,000 is paid. Banker has general lien. Okay, generally the bankers have a general lien. What is the meaning of general lien? General lien means they have a lien on the general balance of account. General balance of account means जब तक पूरा loan repay नहीं हो जाता, okay, till they are not paid the entire loan, bankers can retain whatever security has come to them. Okay, but it can always be excluded by an agreement. In this case, they have by an agreement excluded his right of general lien. They are mentioning it specifically that this is a particular lien. If it is mentioned in the agreement that this is a particular lien, we will have to honor that agreement. Okay, so here he first took a loan of 50,000, then he took another loan of 20,000. He repaid the first loan in full, but he has not repaid the second loan. Can the bank exercise the right to gold? I explained the provision. I explained the case. Now you tell me, will the bank have a lien on the gold? Can we exercise general lien? You tell me. Can the bank exercise general lien? Okay. Yes, guys, please be fast in your answer. I'm waiting. Okay. Now, in this case, because it is specifically mentioned that he cannot exercise general lien, particular lien will apply. So, in this case, because there is an agreement, the bank cannot retain the gold. Now, students, if you have my compiler, please highlight what is expected in exam. Okay, what is expected? You have to learn this sentence. Now, according to section 171, okay, section 170 and 171 relate to general lien and particular lien. Bankers, wharfingers, factors, attorneys of high court, lawyers, policy brokers, insurance agent. In absence of a contract to the contrary, please note that the entire question, the entire answer is based just on these few words. In the absence of a contract to the contrary. पूरा आंसर इसी कॉन्सेप्ट पे बेस्ड है, और अगर यही नहीं लिखा आपने आपने आंसर में एग्जाम में, हाउ विल दे गिव यू मार्क्स? तो दिस इज समथिंग विच वी जनरली इग्नोर व्हेन वी स्टडी, लेकिन नहीं, आपको ये पढ़ना है. ओके, सो हाईलाइट दैट इन रेड. In absence of a contract to the contrary, yes, they can retain for the general balance of account any goods which are bailed to them. Okay, but no other person, acha, other than these five, others will not have general lien unless there is an express contract to the effect. Now, many students don't understand this sentence only. If you don't understand this sentence, you will not be able to learn. If you don't learn your sentence, let us understand the provisions first. Now, there are two parts in this provision. The first part says that these five persons, kaun se five persons? Bankers, factors, wharfingers, attorneys, and policy brokers. By default, by default, they have general lien. Okay, so these I will write it over here. You can write anywhere in your book. These five persons, by default, have general lien. Okay, by default have general lien. We can, this is explanation which we are writing, we can exclude this by a contract. Okay, we can exclude. So by default these five persons have general lien, but you can remove their general lien by an agreement. Persons other than the five above, persons other than the five, okay, five mentioned in the answer, do not have general lien. Okay, they don't have general lien. Persons other than these five don't have general lien. You can allow general lien by an agreement or contract, whatever it is. You mention in the contract. Others will get general lien if we give it in the contract. Only these five persons by default have general lien. You can exclude it by an agreement. Did you understand the provision now? Yes. So over here, by default, the bankers have general lien, but we are excluding it. So now, because we have not given him general lien, he cannot use that gold for the second loan. If Radheshyam pays off the first loan but doesn't pay the second loan, bank cannot exercise general lien on second loan. Did you understand? First, it is important to understand the provision, then you will be able to learn it, and then write it in the exam. Saad, in case this is not there, Achha, you are saying that for the second loan also he has given security. Then we will apply the gold. That is subsequent debts. Okay, if it is expressly mentioned that gold will be used for this also, then of course it is mentioned in the agreement. So then gold can be used for this. But here nothing is specified. Okay, so this is the whole answer. Then I'm not reading the other provisions which we have already discussed. So here provision, now see, most importance to the provision. Analysis is just writing the answer. Once you write the provisions correctly, okay, once you write this correctly, then answer framing is possible. Okay, the next question which I have chosen is question 13. Okay, is question 13. In question 3. Acha, wait, I forgot. How to frame analysis from the provision itself. I will also teach you how to write analysis. Array, it's very simple now. In this case, just combine the provisions and the facts. So what we will write in the first case, Radhesham secured loan of 50,000. It has been fully repaid. Second case, 20,000. It does not continue because of the particular lian. Okay. So the solution will be from the provision and the facts itself. It is very easy. Once your facts are, your provisions are clear, you will be able to write the analysis properly. There is nothing in this analysis. You don't have to learn only for the exam. You only have to learn this for this particular question. Please note how I have written the answer, okay? See, this spacing means you have to leave one line. It is very important to write your answer properly. I have seen students, they don't leave a line. I don't feel like checking their answer. How will the examiner feel? We want him to spend less time on our paper, quickly check, give us marks, move on. If he spends more time, he will find more faults. Wherever I have left space, it means you have to leave a line. Space out your answer. Presentation is very important. Okay. Then I have chosen question 13. It's a unique question. Now, there is another reason for choosing this question. It is based on mixing of goods. Okay, it is based on mixing of goods. This question is based on mixing of goods. Now, why have I chosen this question? It has been asked only once. There are very high chances of repetition. Please mark this as expected in exam. Now, even if question is not asked on section 155, 156, 157 together, they may ask you on any one. Okay, either on 155 or 156, 157 may be combined. Very, very rarely they have asked question on mixing. There is one question of Srijit that was asked very, I think two times they have asked that Srijit. I can't find where it is. That Srijit wala they have asked many times. This type of question has been asked only once. Can be asked in the exam. That is why I have chosen. Now, it is nothing. ये question में कुछ भी नहीं है. Concept ही important है. Section 155, 156, 157, they all three talk about mixing of goods. Prepare this chart and you will never go wrong. Okay, prepare this chart whenever you study. Now, I was telling you know how I used to study. This is how I used to recall the concept. That is why left margin is blank. Now, how I used to recall, this has 3 sections. Mixing of goods has 3 sections. So I would prepare a table. Okay, this helps me a lot. Now, let me read the question so that you know. Mr. Truth deposited 100 bags of groundnut for Mr. False for safekeeping. He mixed the goods with other groundnut bags with the consent. Okay, with the consent. Now, another tip, study tip. This is, I think, study tip number 2. Okay. There are 2 or 3 words in the question which, if you identify properly, you will be able to frame the entire answer. You will know which concept is asked in the exam. How to identify those words? Let's read the question again. Mr. Truth deposited 100 bags of groundnut in the factory of Mr. False for safekeeping. My first word, deposited. He gave. The act of delivery is bailment. This question relates to bailment. Okay. Study tip number 2. I identified question कौन से chapter का है? Other point. He mixed the goods. Mixing of goods. 155, 156, 157. With the consent. Section 155. 5. And consumed. Okay. Whether he can claim his share. What will be the consequences if it is without section 156, 157? My answer is ready. Acha, हाँ साथ question 5 है ना. Srijit wala is also important. That question 5, Srijit, that is also important. Now, see how many a time students don't know कौन से chapter का question है. कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करें? ही डिपॉजिटेड, डिपॉजिट मतलब टू डिलीवर, डिलीवर मतलब बेलमेंट. ओके, बेलमेंट आ गया. मिक्सिंग, मिक्सिंग सेक्शन 155, 156, 157. विद कंसेंट सेक्शन 155. दे हैव आल्सो आस्क्ड विदाउट कंसेंट 156, 157. ओके, नाउ हाउ आई रिवाइज द कॉन्सेप्ट. ओके, रिवाइज कैसे करेंगे? सेक्शन 155 टॉक्स अबाउट मिक्सिंग बट विद द कंसेंट of baler. Okay, then we have mixing of goods without the consent of baler. But 156 क्या बोलता है? The goods can be separated. And 157 बोलता है goods cannot be separated. See students, these small notes which you prepare will help you 1.5 days before the exam. You need not recall everything. Just quickly go through the questions. See, because you have to study the theory, you have to study questions also. You can't go on solving each and every question. These notes will help you. Okay? And I told you, always prepare easy charts. So this is one way. Mixing with the consent of baler. What is the provision in this case? Can you tell me the provision in this case if we are mixing with the consent of the baler? What is the provision? Mixing with the consent. Okay. Then the baler, because it is with the consent, na? The baler and the bailee, they will take a share in the mixture. They will share the mixture proportionately. They will share the mixture proportionately because it was mixing with the consent. Yes. Acha. Goods were mixed without the consent of baler, without the consent, but the goods can be separated. So the baler will want his share or goods. And very important, the expenses of separation shall be borne by the bailee because it is bailee's fault. Okay, goods cannot be separated, then the baler can claim compensation from bailee because goods can't be separated. So he will say, I want compensation. You can say he can claim damages from bailee. My entire answer is here. Nahi, Saad, it will not be equal. It is proportionately, depends on how much was my share in the mixture. Okay, so it is not equal. It is proportionately. They may want to do it equally, but don't write equal in the exam, write proportionate. Okay, this is my answer. Mixing with the consent, mixing without the consent. So they have mentioned section 151. Now you see, the entire answer is all about provision. See this. Section 155, 156, 157, all theory, theory, theory. How much is the answer? Over here. Okay. And over here, very, 2-3 parts. Here. This is the answer. This is one set. The entire answer is only provisions. What is the most common mistake which students make in the exam? They concentrate more on facts. They concentrate more on analysis. They write very little of provision. But did you see what is asked in the exam? This is the model answer of ICAI. The entire answer consists of provisions. This is provision. This is all theory. This only this much is answer, and these are facts. Okay, some few facts are also given, but the entire answer is theory. So you have to concentrate more on provision, and your provisions you will be able to write only when you learn them well from your notes. So it is very important for you to have notes which are easy. Okay, easy to learn. Okay, now. So this was about bailment and pledge. The last chapter of Contract Act is agency. Okay, The last is agency. Now from agency, are you tired or should we continue? Are you tired or should we continue? Okay. From agency, I have identified question 11. I will tell you also why I have chosen that question. Agency coupled with interest. Very important. Agency coupled with interest. Okay, let's see if you're able to tell me the provisions. A gave authority to B to sell his land and pay himself out of the proceeds, the debts due to him. Then A became insane. Can the agency be cancelled? Does it come to an end? Is it irrevocable? You tell me. I'm not going to answer. Then I will tell you one trick how to identify. I will tell you study tip number 3, trick. How to identify whether it is agency coupled with interest or not. Students को समझ में ही नहीं आता ये coupled with interest है कि नहीं है. Is this coupled with interest? Tell me. Agency coupled with interest. Guys, just put me a message if you want the study calendar. I'll share it on WhatsApp with you. Save my number also. Okay. I will share it after the lecture is over. Okay. 2-month study calendar. I have it with me. Okay, everyone. Yes. Is it agency coupled with interest? Now, how to identify whether it is agency coupled with interest or not, whether it is irrevocable or not? Okay. How to understand whether it is coupled with interest or not. Now, write down the steps. Step 1, creation of interest. Step 2, creation of agency. Okay, if these steps are followed in this manner, step 1, step 2, creation of interest, creation of agency, only then the agency is coupled with interest. If the steps are reversed, first creation of agency, then creation of interest, then it is not coupled with interest. Agency is not irrevocable. Okay, so coupled with interest, irrevocable, should follow these 2 steps. Step 1, creation of interest. Step 2, creation of agency. Now over here, he gives authority to sell the land and pay the proceeds, whatever debts are due. So in this case, whatever debts are due to him, it means first there was creation of interest. मुझे पैसे देने थे, मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है, I don't have money. So I tell him, you sell my land. I am authorizing him to sell the land. Creation of agency. Yes, steps are followed in the sequence that I want. It is coupled with interest. It is irrevocable agency. It will not be revoked. It will not be cancelled if A became insane. Even if he becomes insane, it is irrevocable agency. Agency cannot be terminated. Yes, very good, Saad. Okay. That is why I selected this question. Next question which I have selected is question 12. Did I solve question 3? Question 3. No, I didn't. Question 3. This is also very frequently asked. In different forms it is asked. Very simple, but very frequently asked in the exam. Rahul was a transporter. He was entrusted with the duty of transporting tomatoes by Aswin. Due to heavy rains, Rahul was stranded for more than 2 days. He sold the tomatoes at below the market price, fearing that they may perish. Can Aswin recover the loss from from Rahul on the ground that he acted beyond his authority? So, is Rahul considered as our agent? Is the sale valid? Or can we recover loss from him? That is the question. What is happening in this case? It is agency by emergency. There's no contract. But agency is created by emergency. There are 4 points which you should remember here. In agency by emergency. What are the 4 points? Yes, Hema, very good. Your answer is right. What are the 4 points over here? First, it is an emergency situation. Second, we tried to communicate. But communication was not possible. He acted like a prudent person. अगर उसकी जगह पे कोई और होता तो वो भी यही करता. And he did that to save principal from loss. It means that there was some commercial, okay, I'll write it over here, necessity, here I can write emergency or commercial necessity. Commercial necessity is a keyword. You have to write that in your answer. It's a keyword. Okay. There was some commercial necessity. Communication was not possible. He acted like a prudent man to save the principal. उसकी जगह पे कोई और होता तो वो भी यही करता. So that is the answer. Okay. So what is more important? On what will you get marks? This. You will get marks for writing this. And solution. He did that to protect. He can decide the time. This is important. In the given case, Rahul was handling perishable goods. He can then decide the time, date and place of sale. It may not be as per instructions of Aswin, the principal. The agent is acting to protect the principal from losses. This is important for exam. This should be mentioned in your answer. You will get marks for this. And you will get marks for this. Okay, section number is important. I need to remember the section number. You will get marks for section number and you will get marks for provisions. And over here, analysis is also important. You will get marks for writing this. Because the goods are perishable, the person will decide the time and place. Yes, Saad, very good. I can feel the difference. You are studying from my notes. So yes, you are able to answer well. I'm so happy. Okay. So this will give you marks. The next question which I have identified is question 12. Question 12. Akash is a famous manufacturer. He appoints Prashant as agent. Prashant is entrusted with the work of recovering money from various people. Prashant is paid a monthly remuneration of 15,000. During a particular month, he has to recover 40,000 from traders, but Prashant gives only 25,000 after deducting his salary. The question is whether his act is valid. Should he return to the principal the entire 40,000 or can he deduct the remuneration? That is the question. Okay, can he deduct the remuneration? So section 217 unique question hai because it is not frequently asked in the exam. It's a unique question. So yes, he can deduct all the monies which are due to him. So maybe, he must have given some advance on behalf of the principal. In respect of expenses incurred by him, he can deduct that, and he can also deduct his remuneration. What will give you marks? What is important for marks? This. Writing this exactly will give you marks. Okay, this is more important for marks. So yes, he can deduct. So Prashant can deduct the remuneration. Okay. So what is more important? This can be asked for 3 marks or 4 marks maximum. 3 to 4 marks. Okay. So because this provision we skip, no, we sometimes हम भूल जाते हैं, लेकिन ये पढ़ के जाना है सेक्शन नंबर के साथ. Okay. Then let's discuss questions from Negotiable Instruments Act. Do you want me to continue discussion, or do you want to study Negotiable Instruments Act and then we will discuss? अभी तक तो हो जाना चाहिए था actually सबका पढ़ के. Yes, sometimes confusion होता है इसमें भी. I have selected question 9. I always want that students should be involved. It should not be that, I'm just talking and you are just for the sake of it, you are listening, but you're not able to understand. That is why I keep asking my students, are you comfortable? Have you studied this? Do you want some time to study? And then we discuss. Only then it is quality teaching, no? Then it is a quality lecture. Yes. This is very important for exam. Very unique question. You have to study this before exam. Study before exam. Okay? You need to study this one day. You have to revise. Study or revise before exam. Like, we mark certain questions. कि ये एग्जाम के एक दिन पहले देख के जाना. This is one of those questions. Now, section 138 actually deals with the penalty for dishonor of check. Now, check may be dishonored because you don't have sufficient money, check bounce हो गया, आपने stop payment करा दी. This is for stop payment. Very unique questions. Students 100% will leave this question and they will not study. आप नहीं करोगे. You have to study this question before exam. अच्छा, now section 138 क्या बोलता है? Section 138 talks about penal provision. Once the check is drawn, एक बार आपने check draw कर दिया, then you cannot tell the other person or the bank. Very good. चलो, you cannot tell the bank, अरे bank listen stop payment कर देना. अर्शदीप, the schedule is on the home page. बैनर ही लगाया है मैंने home page पे. आज हम अदर लॉस कर रहे हैं, कल हम इनिशियल यूनिट्स ऑफ कंपनीज एक्ट करेंगे. वेबसाइट पे बैनर पे ही है. स्केड्यूल इज ऑन द बैनर. नाउ एवरीवन, ये क्वेश्चन आ सकते हैं एग्जाम में. नाउ सेक्शन 138 इज पेनल प्रोविजन. आप ये नहीं बोल सकते अरे सॉरी बैंक मेरे पास ना अभी पैसे नहीं है, या अरे वो मैंने चेक इशू कर दिया था बट आई डिडंट चेक ओनली. So in this case, thank you, Vibin. I'm flattered actually. Thank you so much. Okay. So section 138 क्या बोलता है? That penal provision, you cannot take the benefit that अरे sorry I didn't understand. मुझे नहीं पता था that there is insufficient fund. अरे I forgot that I have taken OD of only 2 lakhs and I issued check of 2.5 lakhs. Arey bank, please stop payment. Stop payment is also considered as dishonor of check, and stop payment also attracts section 138 of the Negotiable Instruments Act. ये बच्चे पढ़ के ही नहीं जाते. Keywords. We will highlight the keywords. This is CA Inter 2018 question and RTP November 20 question. After that, it has not been asked. Can be asked. Okay. This was very recently, I think, asked in November 23 RTP, if I'm not wrong. RTP में भी ये आया था मेरे ख्याल से. मेरे this compiler जो मेरा soft copy है is for the May attempt, but नवंबर अटेम्प्ट के कंपाइलर में मैंने डाला है। अर्शदीप, आई रिप्लाइड ना, होम पेज पे ही है, आप वेबसाइट ओपन करो, सामने ही दिखेगा आपको। या इट्स देयर। हाँ, होम पेज पे ही है। नाउ okay, penal provision: when the check is drawn on an account made by the drawer with his bank for payment of any amount to another person out of that account for the discharge in whole or in part of the debt, and that person is and the bank is informed by the bank unpaid either because of insufficiency of funds or amount exceeding the arrangement made with the bank. जैसे बैंक ने ओडी दिया था 2 लाख का, मैंने चेक इशू किया 2.5 लाख का। हाँ, it's a previous exam question. Now, how to break and learn, how to break the sentence and learn it. You have to learn it. You have to learn it. Penal provision word is important. When the check is drawn on an account by the drawer with his banker, so I am drawing a check with my banker for the payment of any amount to other person out of that account for discharge of whole or in part of the debt or liability. That person is informed by the bank that check is unpaid. Q, because of insufficiency of funds or the amount is exceeding the arrangement, then such person will be deemed to have committed an offense under section 138. This is how you will break the sentence and understand. Okay? So, penal provision word is important. How will you break the sentence? I had drawn a check on the account maintained with the bank. Q draw किया था for the payment of amount to another person. कहाँ से? Out of my account. For the discharge, either मैंने वो person को full payment की थी or I had given part payment. But the amount is now either, sorry, the check is unpaid because there were insufficient in my funds in my account, or maybe because the amount exceeded the arrangement. If the check is dishonored, I will be blamed. I will attract section 138. Now, you cannot say, अरे लेकिन मैंने बैंक को inform किया था ना about stop payment. I had stopped the payment. I had informed the bank. That will also attract section 138. Section 139 क्या बोलता है? Once a check is issued by the drawer, the presumption under section 139 follows merely because the drawer issues a notice to the drawee or to the bank. Drawee is the bank only. In case of check, drawee is always the bank. For the stop payment, it will not prelude, it will not exclude section 138. Section 139 क्या बोलता है? Sometimes, we take the benefit. अरे, I informed the bank. I had informed the bank that there are no sufficient funds. Please stop the payment. In spite of that, the bank made the payment, but I had given notice. I will not pay the penalty. I had informed, na. Section 139 is very clear. Even if you had informed the bank, you cannot escape 138. November 23 में ये वाला question आया था that we had given bank stop payment instruction, but in spite of that the bank honored the check. Honor नहीं, they honored नहीं, they executed the payment. So you can say, yeah, we cannot blame the bank. We cannot blame the bank in this case. So section 139, it says presumption in favor of holder. Presumption in favor of holder. Section 140 क्या बोलता है? There is absolute liability of the drawer. Banks, they will charge penalty, like HDFC Bank takes 100 or 200 rupees depending on the check, penalty for stop payment. It says that no defense will be given in the prosecution under section 138 saying that, array, I did not believe that the check may be dishonored. I didn't realize only that I did not have sufficient funds. If the check is dishonored, automatically section 138 will apply even for stop payment. All right, this is important. Now, again, if you noticed, most of the page is covered by provision. Just 2 lines are written in analysis. Theory is more important if you want to score maximum marks. हम इसमें ही मार खा जाते हैं. We don't write so much theory. We go on explaining the question. We write more of facts. We go on explaining in analysis. That's not the right way. This is more important. Then the next question which I have identified is question 15. Why I have identified that question? Fictitious. Fictitious. Yes. For foundation, I am launching a live batch. It will be a exam oriented batch. It won't be live on YouTube. It is a paid batch, but it has premium content. There is a live batch for foundation. I will start after Ganpati. After Ganpati, I am launching. This is my first. It will be my first live batch. It will be on Zoom, not on other softwares. Why on Zoom? Because I want students to ask doubts. Okay, so it will be a doubt solving plus exam oriented revision, question solving, and exam writing. So I'm combining the pain points of students. Students को किसमें सबसे ज़्यादा problem आती है? Writing practice नहीं करते, tests नहीं देते. So the exam oriented live batch which I am starting will be revision. It will be question answer discussion, doubt solving, and writing tests. So that will be a live batch. It will be a paid batch, but after Ganpati, I will make an announcement. Admissions will be starting from 15 September. Okay. Others, yes. Even for CA Inter, guys, मैंने बताया ना आपको, today I am in full mood to advertise. So today don't mind. Today I am in advertisement mood. I have become salesman today. For CA Inter, from again 2-3 days, मेरा थोड़ा ही recording बाकी है. Few chapters are to be recorded. All questions from the compiler will be discussed. All questions. So we have a small, I am pricing it at a very low price. Kam price mein, very kam price mein. But all question discussion, that product also I am launching in this week. Okay. Why have I chosen question 15? Fictitious. Okay. Fictitious. बिल हमको समझा ही नहीं अभी तक fictitious bill क्या होता है. Have you understood what is fictitious bill? Maximum students have a doubt in what is fictitious bill. Now, fictitious bill is a bill in which the drawer and the payee, they are fictitious persons. They don't exist only. ऐसा कोई person ही नहीं है. But the एक मिनट, ये drawer है. Drawer and payee, they are fictitious, but drawee is an actual person. Okay, so drawer and payee, they are fictitious. Drawee is an actual person. This type of bill is known as a fictitious bill. Now pay attention to the example. Mr. A drew a bill in the fictitious name of C and endorsed, I'll use the same word. A draws a bill on B but signs in it. Okay, fine. I'm using the same letters only. Mr. A drew a bill in the fictitious name of C. C doesn't exist only. C is a fictitious person. He is not in existence. ऐसा कोई किसी भी नाम लिख दिया. And he drew it on B. B is actual person. Okay, B is an actual person. He is the drawee. B accepts the instrument. Foolish person. This kind of bill is known as fictitious bill. A drew a bill in the fictitious name of C and endorsed it to B. Endorsed him. He gave it to B for acceptance and B accepted. Now, why did B foolishly accept this bill when he knew that C is not an actual person? Maybe he was helping A. Okay. Maybe he was not aware that C is not an actual person. Maybe B is foolish. Maybe B did this to help his friend. I don't know the reason. Okay. Now, this kind of bill is known as a fictitious bill. Now Mr. A, he signed the instrument and he endorsed it to D, who is holder in due course. My question is, will D be able to recover money from B? Will D be able to recover money from B? Will D be able to recover money from B? Answer is yes. If he can show that the signature, okay, if he can show that the signature of the drawer and the first endorser match. Okay, if he can show, Preetam, this is Negotiable Instruments Act. We finished Contract Act and we are about to end Negotiable Instruments. You can watch the video from the beginning also. I'm going to save it in the playlist. So this is a fictitious bill. Holder in due course will get a good title. He can recover from B. Arey, poor B. He can't argue that arey, C doesn't exist. Then why did you accept the bill? You were foolish enough, na? Now you will have to pay holder in due course. You can, however, recover money from A. Go and find A. You must be knowing, na? Some person must be the drawer. Somebody must have signed, no, as a drawer. Somebody must have signed as a endorser. This person though does not exist. Somebody must be in existence to sign all that, and maybe you know that person. Go and recover it from him. So we are protecting the holder in due course. This is the theory. Okay. Now after this, I selected question 23. Why did I select question 23? Okay. I don't know. Section 130, not negotiable. Yeah. Not negotiable, crossing. I wanted to highlight not negotiable because many students get confused in not negotiable crossing. Guys, before leaving, put a thumbs up. Leave a thumbs up before leaving. Okay. Now, K is an employee of Sumit. He fraudulently obtained. So K has committed some fraud on Sumit. Okay, K has committed some fraud on Sumit. And he obtains a check. But on the check it is written crossed, not negotiable. Later he transfers the check to D, who gets it encashed. Matlab he got money from XYZ bank, which is not the drawee bank. Okay. Sumit comes to know about the fraudulent act of K and he sues the bank for money. Now, what is the meaning of not negotiable crossing? Does it mean that the instrument is not negotiable? No. It doesn't mean that the instrument is not negotiable. It only means that if the title of transferor is defective, then the title of transferee will also be defective. This is the meaning of not negotiable crossing. Normally what happens in holder in due course? In HDC what happens is, if the title of transferor is defective, but transferee will get a good title. This is HDC. But in not negotiable crossing, you will get the title of the transferor. If transferor's title is defective, your title will also be defective. So here, because it was a not negotiable crossing, K is not the owner. If K is not the owner, bank did not become the owner. Bank cannot keep the money. The money will be given back to the true owner, that is Sumit. He can claim the money from the bank. Okay. Banks have to be very careful while honoring a not negotiable crossing because they may end up paying twice. See, what if D takes the money from the bank and runs away? Bhag gaya. Then Sumit will also claim money from the bank, saying कि तुमको नहीं देना चाहिए था, it's a not negotiable crossing, I'm the owner. Bank will end up paying twice. So banks have to be very careful while honoring a not negotiable crossing. They have to verify whether the person who is coming with them is the owner. Would your answer be the same if K does not transfer but gets it encashed? Answer is the same. If K gets the money, he is not the owner. Sumit will remain the owner. Sumit is the owner. He will get the money. Answer is the same. Unique question. It's a unique question. It's a not negotiable crossing question. Very nicely framed. Can be asked in the exam. Okay. It can be asked. So these were the 3 questions I chose from negotiable instruments. Now from the General Clauses Act. Saad, I read that you want me to discuss 2 other questions, but I don't have time right now. If you have any specific doubt, you can ask me on WhatsApp. Going to the General Clauses Act, there are around 54 questions in Negotiable Instruments Act. 54 questions we have in the compiler for negotiable instruments. Again, we are going to discuss all this in a small product that I am launching in the end of this week. मेरे 2-3 recordings बाकी हैं. We're going to discuss all the questions from compiler. जैसा अभी कर रहे वैसा all questions. But price कम रखूंगी. I want maximum to benefit. Okay. All right. General clauses में से I have chosen question 9. Explain briefly any 4 effects by repeal. Repeal में maximum students have doubt. Repeal क्या होता है? Repeal means जड़ से उखाड़ देना. As if the act never existed. Now, pay attention. Generally, these amendment acts, they are repealed. Like, we have the Companies Amendment Act 2015. Now that amendment is done. We don't need this act. Repeal it. Cancel it. We had the Companies Amendment Act 2017. अरे 2017 काम हो गया है. रिपील करो, इसका कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है. रिमूव इट. रिपील कर दिया, निकाल दिया. Does it mean that the amendments which it made in the Companies Act वो भी निकल गए? अरे नहीं. Those amendments are made. We are only repealing the Amendment Act. Repeal means wherever a reference is also made, that also we will not consider. That is the meaning of repeal. Repeal means जड़ से उखाड़ देना, as if the act never existed. Just because we are repealing the acts, does it mean that it will affect the prior? Now I will highlight the keywords. You have to write them in your exam. Does it mean that the prior management is repealed? No. Does it mean that any claim, privilege, responsibility, debt that is repealed? No. Now, what does it mean, ma'am? Please pay attention. Repeal cannot revive anything not enforced or prevailed when the repeal is effective. Pay attention. Something which was not in existence, can you repeal it? No. If there was some draft bill, I repealed it, does it mean that it is going to affect anyone? No. If something was not in existence, repeal is not going to affect it. So repeal does not, or let me say that something which did not exist, okay, that cannot be revived. It cannot revive anything which is not enforced or prevailed during the period when the repeal is effected. Something which did not exist only cannot be revived, it cannot be repealed, nothing can happen. It was in draft stage. Acha, we have already given you a claim, privilege, responsibility. Now pay attention. I had to pay you 50,000 as compensation because I lost the case. Then the act got repealed. Now I will not pay you compensation. Act got repealed now. Hello. That claim was already settled before repeal. I will have to pay you 50,000. Acha, listen. Somebody was given punishment of 3 years. Act got repealed. Array, act got repealed after the punishment was announced, na? After the forfeiture or penalty was sustained. Repeal is not going to affect the decision already made. Repeal is not going to affect any inquiry, litigation, remedy which was initiated, continued or insisted before repeal. वो start हो गया है ना? That will continue. Repeal doesn't mean अरे inquiry थी income tax की, अभी तो वो repeal हो गया है सब provision. The inquiry had started before repeal. That will continue. That is not going to be affected. Are you getting me? So this is something which you need to learn. It's a theory question. Yeah, it is abolition of the previous provision. Actually, it is mostly of the act. What you are saying is provision can be deleted also. Okay. So generally repeal is of the act. जैसे Sale of Goods Act was repealed. Sorry. The chapter was repealed. Chapter 7 was repealed from Contract Act. That is repeal. Okay. Chapter 7 was repealed from the contract because पूरा chapter ही निकाल दिया ना, जड़ से उखाड़ दिया, उसका कहीं पे reference है वो भी निकाल दिया. Then chapter 11 was repealed from Contract Act and Partnership Act was formed. So repeal मतलब पूरा का पूरा ही उठा दिया chunk. Okay, then I have chosen question 15. Why have I chosen question 15? This is something which students ignore. I don't want you to ignore. There was a long dispute which was pending in the court. The court fixed the date of hearing on 29th. This was declared as a holiday. Arey, the court is closed on that day. What to do? When will the dispute be heard now? Next day when the court is open again. Yes. So the wordings are very important, students. Please note the wordings. Where any legislation act is directed, okay. If it is directed to be done on a particular day, this should be mentioned in your answer, or within a prescribed period. That is example 30 days. Now, I have given you a time period of 30 days to file a case. Meri marzi, I can file a case on the 30th day also. I can file a case on the 30th day also. But on the 30th day, the court is closed. It's a holiday. All right. Then you can file a case on the next day afterwards when the court is open. Okay, so here we will file on 29th when the court is open. 29th, then 30th. 29th holiday, then on 30th. Okay. So on next day I can file. So I want you to pay attention to the wordings on a certain day or period, but on the last day of that period or on that certain day, court is closed. Then I have chosen question 23. I have chosen question 23. Why? It's a unique question. It's a unique question. CA Inter Jan 21 and MTB 22. Very long gap. Can be asked. Expected. Okay, expected. Now, insurance policies are immovable property? No. Immovable property includes land, building, anything forming part of land, anything attached to land, permanently fastened to land. This is not immovable property. Now, over here, they have not defined immovable property, but you will define immovable property. So I want you to write the definition of immovable property. Okay. Insurance policies, they are not immovable property. Bullocks can be interpreted as cows. No. Please pay attention. Generally, sometimes there is a common word, common gender, like actor. If I'm using the word actor, it includes actress also. If I use the word chairman, now chairman is a common word, okay? Actor, chairman, it's a common word. Chairman includes chairwoman also. Male includes female. Masculine gender includes feminine gender. But the where a word connoting common gender is available, common gender word is available, but I'm not using that common gender word. I am specifically using a word to denote a specific gender, like I'm using the word bullocks. It will not include cows. Bullocks is masculine and this is feminine. Common word is available, cattle. Cattle word is available, no? Am I using the common word? No, I am using specific word bullocks. Then masculine gender will not include feminine gender. Okay, that is a unique question. Okay, then in negotiable, okay, in then interpretation, question 1 I chose. Here I don't think I need to discuss. Hayden's rule is important for exam. Write it somewhere. Hayden's case is important for exam. Hayden's case is the mischief rule. Why do amendments come in picture? Because there was some mischief which people were, taking advantage of. People were taking advantage of certain loopholes. That is why we introduce amendments. That is why we bring new acts. That is why we make it more strict. So, what is the reason? What was the law before making the act? What was the earlier law? What are the mischief that you're trying to suppress? What is the remedy and what is the reason for the remedy? So that is Hayden's rule. You have to learn it. Then I have chosen question 5. Means and includes. See, the word means actually shows the meaning. It is actually trying to explain the meaning of the word. Includes is actually quite an exhaustive definition. Okay, it is quite extensive. It only includes, it means there are so many other things which can be included later. Yes, Saad, it's a written document, correct. So means and includes is very frequently asked in the exam. Even must and shall is very frequently asked in the exam. So you have to give exam. I wanted you to note that if there is less explanation, तो आप example लिख सकते हो. Okay, then you can create length. And lastly, I have chosen question 12. Very frequently asked, very frequently asked. Meaning of provision and explanation. Proviso. It excludes, na? It's an exception. If it was not there, then the provision would be included. Okay, this is an exception, and explanation provides an explanation or either includes or excludes something. So learn this. Very frequently asked. You have to learn. There's nothing that I can, elaborate, but you have to learn it. Okay. So this was the entire other laws actually. We completed entire other laws in today's session. Wow. And whatever I have chosen were all unique questions, important questions. They were like, can be asked in the exam. So I hope you made a note of it. And there were 2-3 things which I discussed with you. The first one is that very soon we are launching the podcast also, and a discussion video of all the compiler questions. And also I'm starting a live exam oriented batch for CA Foundation. In that, we will not only revise the syllabus, but we will also discuss questions, how to write the answers, and we will do a lot of writing practice. So that is in the pipeline now. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Yes, there were many students who stuck till the end. I'm so proud of you guys. Because I know that these things can be overwhelming. कभी कभी ऐसा लग सकता है यार कितना कुछ पढ़ना बाकी है, अभी भी ये भी बाकी है, मेरा वो भी बाकी है. हम डर के मारे सेशन छोड़ देते हैं. बट देयर वर मेनी स्टूडेंट्स लाइक साद. आई एम सो प्राउड ऑफ यू. आपने हिम्मत दिखाई and you stuck till the end, you participated. I want this kind of involvement. तो ही आपका confidence बढ़ेगा. Only then you will be confident before the exam. Don't think of what your friends are doing. See, comparison तो हम हमेशा करते हैं. I also compare myself to many YouTubers. I compare myself to Instagrammers. But you will always find someone who is better than you. You know, you reach that stage जहाँ पर आपके पास सब कुछ है. आज ही मैं अपने आप को समझा रही थी that sometimes we have everything, no, but still we aim for more. We become very greedy. तो आपको भी grounded रहना है, बस पढ़ते ही रहना है. डोंट कंपेयर योर सेल्फ विद योर फ्रेंड्स. उसका इतना हो गया, मेरा ये बाकी है, वो ये सब्जेक्ट पढ़ रहा है तो मैं भी चेंज कर दूं. वो नहीं करना है. वो अपने हिसाब से पढ़ रहा है ना, आप अपने हिसाब से पढ़ो. ठीक है, तो चलो. टुडे आई थिंक वाज अ वेरी प्रोडक्टिव सेशन. आई लव्ड इट. आई एंजॉयड इट. डिड यू एंजॉय इट? सो लीव अ लाइक बटन को प्रेस करना इफ यू एंजॉयड, एंड शेयर दिस वीडियो विद योर फ्रेंड्स. Ask them to join the live session. जैसे मैंने आपको बोला, don't just join the first session, go for the second, third also. हिम्मत बनाओ और आओ. कुछ ना कुछ तो लेके ही जाओगे ना. ठीक है. I'm sharing a link of my website. Do visit my website, capreetiaggarwal.com. Subscribe to my channel and also follow me on Instagram. I upload a lot of videos on Instagram also. We are also planning Sunday live sessions just to discuss and chit chat. Time pass करेंगे, games खेलेंगे. तो plan में है सब कुछ. But I want you to focus on your exam also. So many things planned ना. Time कम है. 30 hours होने चाहिए ना दिन में. 30 hours वो भी कम लगेंगे मुझे. इतना काम है, इतना कुछ कर सकते हैं. Yes. So bye bye guys. I hope you enjoyed today's session. जरा यस मैम वी एंजॉय ऐसा कुछ लिख के तो जाओ. कुछ एप्रिसिएशन तो करके जाओ. पता तो लगे. यस, डिड यू एंजॉय टुडे सेशन? ऑल राइट एवरीवन, आई टेक योर लीव. डिनर टाइम हो गया सबका. लेट अस हैव डिनर. एंड फॉर स्टडी कैलेंडर यू कैन सेंड मी अ व्हाट्सएप. I will not reply immediately, but by tonight or maybe tomorrow I will share it. I also need a break now. चलो bye bye. I'll meet you tomorrow again at 7 o'clock, right? कल मिलते हैं फिर. थोड़ा फियर है साथ. फियर इज गुड. जितना डरोगे उतना अच्छा पढ़ोगे. मैं तो बोलती हूँ डरो, बिंदास डरो, बिंदास डरो. एंड मोमेंट तक डरते रहो, बट डर को हैंडल करो. दैट्स इट. फियर इज गुड. हेल्दी फियर है ये. डरोगे तो पढ़ोगे और आगे बढ़ोगे. ठीक है, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. चलो गाइस, आई एम एंडिंग द स्ट्रीम हियर. आई विल सी यू टुमारो एट 7 o'clock.